Yeah, transitioning over to the West. I'm all for getting Zion out of here for Sabonis. I think fans are just like Zion. You kind of you go through your injury hiatus and like we just want to see you, bro. Like maybe obviously I feel like to a degree if you think about it, if he hasn't been playing, he's not gonna like come out and play for All-Star just because y'all voted him in. Um, but yeah, I don't think anybody can like roll their eyes if you like, yo, get Zion out of here for Sabonis. Like we talk about the greatest ability is availability. That hasn't been Zion's strength. That hasn't been his strength.
So he's a better. So Sabonis is a better player than Zion Williamson.
I'd say
No,
Oh,
no.
if Zion never played, if he played more games, then it'd be clear. But as in just availability, I mean, Zion is who you want on your team. You want Sabonis because of availability. Period.
But there's a bit of popularity that goes in the All Star game too. You really want to put fans in the stands as well. So who's really coming to see? Like I feel like Zion sells more tickets than Sabonis.
So great point. So the NBA has a breakdown in regards to how the voting is, how it's orchestrated, and how it's divvied up. So
and the
fan
fan
vote
vote is that
is a
holds
certain
the most
percentage.
weight. Yeah.
I don't I don't think that's the case. But
For the starters, because for the starters, and I'll research it as I'm saying it, but the starters, the fans hold the most weight for the starters. The coaches and the peers hold the most weight for the reserves.
Right. I mean, yeah, he's really good, but he ain't a monster. Like people want to put the monster on the ticket, so people will come out. That's just marketing at that point.
I just I just feel some type of way by it because I'm just like, good lord, like when can a team actually figure you out to a certain point
Let me
because you're so injured, like it is
let me
kind of a disadvantage of his all stardomness to a
let,
certain extent.
let me read this real quick from the NBA Communications. Starters for the 2020-23 NBA All-Star Game were selected by fans, current NBA players, and a media panel. Fans accounted for 50% of the vote to determine the starters, while players and media accounted for 25% each. After all votes are tallied, players were ranked in each conference by position, guard, and front court, with each of the three voting groups. Each player's score was calculated by averaging his weighted rank from the fan votes, the player votes, and the media votes. The two guards and the three front courts with the best score in each conference were named NBA All-Star Game starters.
It makes sense now.
Click
Makes all
on,
the sense in the world.
Yeah.
click on donate.
And it's not even nothing to be upset
Yeah,
about. That just if
It's,
that's the scale, that makes all the sense in the world. And I
yeah,
mean,
man. That's
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 Shaq
what
in
that's what makes the All Star game though. That's what makes the All Star game. The media, the fans, like they're involved in the important parts of it. And I
yeah,
mean,
so I believe so the coaches are
I
what,
guess
25%, fan vote is 25%, and
Yeah,
then
the fans all together, coaches and media personnel are 25% a piece, and the fans are 50%.
and
But
who's the other 25 players?
no, let me go back and make sure I'm hold on real quick.
like you say, 25 for media, 25 for coaching, and then
Yeah, okay.
50% for
Fans account for
fans.
50. Fans account for 50% of the vote to determine the starters, while players and media account for 25% each for the starters. But so if you click, so I would say if you click on here, as you can see, so talking about
change
talking about
screen.
talking about Joel, so talking about popularity, right? Sedacious. Giannis got 6.7 million fan votes. KD got 6.5 million fan votes. Jason Tatum got 5.2 million fan votes. and Joel Embiid got 4.9 million fan votes. So
Mm.
he fell short. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so
What was the fan votes for Donovan Mitchell?
D Mitchell, hold on.
'Cause my boy done caught a buzz in Cleveland.
Where you at, Mitchell?
See, that's the thing. When you have that much competition
Oh, hold
in a
on.
certain conference, you can't be the bad guy and expect to make the
Like
Eastern
that.
Conference. Okay, that makes a lot of sense too for Joel. He's a bad guy. He's not gonna make it.
Yeah,
If one thing,
he's the
Philadelphia is a
villain.
bad.
And
Yeah,
mind you,
Philadelphia is
and
a
mind you that
horrible.
what I just said, sorry, D. What I had just said, Giannis, Giannis, KD, Jason Tatum, Joel, those are like the stats according to like all front court position players in the East. So Joel fell right at 4. You asked me, Sedacious, where did Donovan Mitchell fall? So for all the guards in the East, Kyrie got 4.46 million fan votes, and Donovan Mitchell got 4.44 million fan votes. So they was kind of like right there, 4.46, 4.44 million for Kyrie and Donovan Mitchell. Jaylen Brown was at 2.4 million. James Harden was at 2.2 million fan votes. DeMar DeRozan, DeMar DeRozan is at 1.2 million. Trae Young was at 1.6 million.
They need to work on their PR.
And the thing about it is,
those are the only players with over 1 million votes in the front for the backcourt in the East. Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, James Harden, and DeMar DeRozan and Trae Young.
That sounds about right though. As I'm just
when you're the best, you can be the bad guy. Ask Kyrie Irving. It don't matter about how much people perceive you or how you look in the media. People gonna mess with you, or you're gonna get them votes. You know.
Yeah, when you got
like
an undeniable game, it's it definitely
translates.
It propels your case, and
because
especially with Kyrie.
Technically,
you put him up against people, and it's like, how can I not pick Kyrie? I'm not stupid.
So going over to that's interesting. But going over to the Western Conference front court, you had LeBron James, and we're just talking about fan votes. You had Braun with 7.4 million fan votes. Jokic right behind Braun with 5.4 million fan votes. Zion Williamson at 4.2 million fan votes.
Gang.
Anthony Davis had 4.3 fan votes. And we're just talking fan votes. Obviously, like it's 50%, but like it'll like you could, jump ahead of somebody with the media and the player votes or whatever. So so again, front court for the Western Conference, Braun at 7.4 million, Jokic at 5.4 million, Zion. Did I say Zion again? Or did I say Braun at 7.4 million, Jokic at 5.4 million, Zion at 4.2 million. Anthony Davis came in at 4.3 million, even though he had more fan votes than Zion. He lost in terms of the media votes and the player votes. So that's why Zion went ahead of him, right? Sedacious, you talk about ticket sales, and you feel like people are going to show more. People are going to fill up the stands more for Zion than Sabonis. So again, Zion at 4.2 million fan votes, whereas Sabonis only received 800,000 fan votes.
My heart goes out to you, my boy. My heart goes out to you. You put in that work though.
Western Conference guards. Just to talk about the greatness, even though like how fantastic Luka has been, you still can't, beat the reigning 3-time, 4-time NBA champion, greatest shooter in the world, and Stephen Curry. So for guards in the Western Conference, and talking about the fan votes specifically, Steph had 5.8 million fan votes, and whereas Luka had 5.5 million fan votes. Right behind them two guys, you had Ja at 2.2 million. Then you got Shea at 2.1 million. Westbrook had 1.1 million, Clay had 1.4 million, and those are the only players with fan votes. Hold on, wait, with 1 point. Yeah, it looks like all the guards with 1.1 million, with over 1 million fan votes.
Bro, talk about being a GOAT where you got 2 million more votes than the next person in the NBA All Stars. Because you said LeBron got 7 million. I ain't heard nobody over 5 million.
Yeah. LeBron James. Yeah, Bron has 7 point.
Steph got 5.
And Giannis was right behind. Bron was at 7 million. Then Giannis and KD both was at 6 million. But yeah, man. Yeah, let us know in the comments who would you trade out for the All-Star game. And granted, obviously to a degree, the All-Star game is about who's gonna put on that show. And you know, if you think about a show, obviously fans' minds are gonna naturally knee-jerk reaction. Zion, can I get Zion?
Charles Barkley said it best. It's like if me and Shaq had a baby. And I was like, bro, that's exactly it. That boy played bully ball.